Your dances get crazier every day.
Do you not remember 4-ish episodes
I
ago
remember.
when I said my goal was to make them crazier?
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast, where we dance in the intro. And
that would require you to also dance.
Well, you know.
I dance.
We do this for the viewer.
Yep.
Or you do it for the viewer. My name is Joe Ludwig. Your name is Caroline. This is the Craft Parenting Podcast, a podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem.
Hey.
And we are back once more for the Higher Gravity Beervent calendar, day 12. Yeah.
12. Yes,
12.
this way.
So we are, I guess this is technically the halfway mark.
Yeah. I mean, I guess more tomorrow.
We'll call it today. Today is the halfway mark. This is the halfway beer.
Mm-hmm.
So we are halfway there, living on a prayer. And if you are wondering what Beervent is, we have a whole host of episodes. We have 13 episodes.
Oh, snap.
About Beervent, all about Beervent. And the very first one, which was posted December 1st, we go into it. We talk about what it is, what higher gravity is, and what our predictions are, which some of them did come true. One of them at least came true. And then the other one was like a half truth.
Yeah. So, because I just listened to our opening the box episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we did get something right.
Yeah. So go back and listen to that if you're interested. But without further ado, what is beer number 12?
What is beer number 12? New Holland, from New Holland Brewing, their Mad Hatter Midwest IPA. And because I forgot to do this, because I forgot that I was supposed to do this, December 12th, according to nationaldaycalendar.com, is International Universal Health Coverage Day, International Day of Neutrality, National Ding-a-Ling Day. I don't know what exactly that means. National Ambrosia Day, which is that salad. It's a Minnesota salad that's not really a salad, or whatever that Midwestern mom sings as her jingle. That's like fruit and whipped cream and Jell-O, and like the definition of a salad is just like something that has a dressing on it, and the definition of a dressing is very loose. It's also National Poinsettia Day, and it's Gingerbread House Day. So I am now very disappointed that this is not some sort of gingerbread beer.
Well, you know what they say about people who complain.
Yeah, I mean, Julia complained about something, and I don't remember what it was now. But I was like, old man yells at cloud.
She didn't like the guava.
Yeah, because she knows she doesn't like guava. And that's the thing, like, Julia is one of those people that's going to be like, yeah, I knew as soon as I saw what was on the can that this isn't going to be like my favorite beer, but I'm not going to give it a 5-star rating on Untapped and be like, this beer's the worst because it has guava and I hate guava. It's like, no, like, I do not like guava, but this is a good beer to people who do like guava. So anyways, this beer, Midwest IPA.
Mad Hatter.
Yeah, whatever a Midwest IPA is.
This sounds like a meetup.
It sounds so.
A meetup.
It sounds like they are trying to win gold by creating a new division for the BJCP or whatever the acronym is. Yeah, I think it's BJCP. To be like, hey, Midwest IPAs are a thing. We invented it. Now we get gold in it all the time.
I don't know if they invented it, but there's.
I'll probably Google that later and then be like, hey, this is all the ways we were wrong 5 minutes ago.
Well, So this is a Midwest IPA. I don't know what that means, but as we just said, 7%.
You did not say the ABV.
ABV.
It has a thick white head. It's pretty clear. A nice, like, typical IPA, like, golden straw color. The description for Mad Hatter is, the whimsical spirit of the Mad Hatter is brought to life with floral aromatics from assertive dry hopping and a bright, hoppy body punctuated with Centennial, Citra, and Mosaic hops. Notes of citrus and pine artfully play off a malty backbone, pouring clear, clean, and crisp. Mad Hatter zigs, where hazy zags. So it sounds like it's all like the stuff that you would expect out of a hazy IPA, but it's clear. Maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know.
There's a smoothness to this.
There is. Are you going to drink more of this than you thought you would?
Yeah. I mean, it's like smooth, like it's a lager almost.
So Great Lakes Brewing also has a Midwest IPA.
Okay.
And so does Frem Family Brewers. So it is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some website called Medium has a West Coast versus East Coast versus Midwest IPA article. So tell me what you think about this beer while I skim this.
No, there's it's hoppy, but it's not overpowering like I thought it would be. It's definitely bitter on the back end. But there is a smoothness to it. Like I said, it's almost as though they lagered it. But I know that IPA is, that's technically an ale.
Yeah.
So it's like they used, I don't know what they did, but it's different enough where I could tell the difference between West and East Coast. I think I could probably tell the difference. Like if it was not by color, but by taste. So West Coast, it's just a hop bomb in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
East Coast, it's like hazy and juicy.
Yeah.
This is, I wouldn't call this juicy.
No.
But it's
got a little bit of juice to it, but not like. I can tell you what Reddit thinks because that other thing that I mentioned like 2 minutes ago has some kind of wall. So I can't read the full article. So I missed all the stuff about Midwest because it only talked about East Coast and West Coast.
There's a way to get around that. Is it what where
they wanted me to, if I would have created an account and not like had to pay anything, I could have seen it all, but that takes time.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy on Reddit says that it says a good amount of hops with traditional bittering, rounded off with some sweetness from crystal malt. Crowd pleaser IPAs in Iowa and Minneapolis tend to have that, with Toppling Goliath and Surly being very large exceptions to standard Midwest rules. And then somebody said they've always used Two Hearted and Zombie Dust as the traditional examples of Midwest IPAs. Definitely got a backbone and some crystal in the style, as a direct quote.
Zombie Dust is a Midwest IPA.
Apparently.
Talk about revisionist history. I've never heard of this term before.
A lot of people, so the person who originally asked, hey, like, what would you define as a Midwest IPA 3 years ago? So this is all relatively recent, like beer timeline wise. Midwest doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Maybe too much association with macros and lagers, because like Bud Miller Coors.
I mean, it's in
I don't know.
St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
That's where.
Which is the mid, and not. We're the Midwest, but we're mid. We were west at one point, and then we discovered more west. So we're not really the west anymore. So I don't know if it is.
I mean, technically, Cincinnati is the Midwest. Like, what is it? The Midwest? Like, it's not mid. It's like East Coast, basically.
Yeah, I mean, we're so close.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of people are.
So it sounds like no one knows what it is.
No, but a lot of people claim Two Hearted as a good quote Midwest IPA. That seems to be a general consensus among people.
I mean,
That I don't know any of these people. I don't know what their credentials are.
Yeah, Two Hearted is in Michigan. Where is this from again?
This is in Holland, Michigan.
This is
also Michigan.
New Holland Brewing, and it's in Michigan.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, there's. I would say it would be a pleasant IPA, which is what's this brewery. This is Meanwhile Brewing Company.
So
they also have a Midwest style IPA, and they describe it as pleasant.
Yeah, it's definitely pleasant. Let's move on and talk about the brewery.
Hold on a second. I have to get back to my thing because I've been so many places now. This took us on a whirlwind.
Did we go down the rabbit hole?
We did follow the white rabbit. Wait, where's the... Do I have a button for that? I think I do.
I don't think you do.
I don't anymore, but...
What is this? Some kind of nerd thing?
That semi-applies. You got rid of the Oh, no, I've got this. Wait. That was much louder than I thought it was going to be.
All right, let's talk about New Holland.
So, our journey from New Holland's website. We find that the best moments in life, the most memorable, are when we spend time in the company of those who are most important to us. Our beer and spirits are made for these moments. It all started for us in 1997 when Brett Vanderkamp believed that his hometown and the brewing industry were due for a shakeup. And so, New Holland Brewing Company was born in Holland, Michigan, near the shores of Lake Michigan. Today, New Holland is recognized as one of the leading innovators in the revolution of craft brewing and distilling. With nearly 400 team members, New Holland's craft beer and spirits are sold across the country and around the globe.
Wow.
Our retail presence continues to grow with 3 full-service restaurants, 2 spirits tasting rooms, 3 brick-and-mortar stores, and an online store. We look forward to finding moments to connect and enhance the lives of people around the world.
400 employees.
Yep.
That's a lot of employees.
And a lot of store frontage.
Yeah. I didn't realize that New Holland was that big. I don't know that I've had a beer from New Holland before.
I have heard of them. I'm also not sure if I've drank their beer before.
I don't know if they had one in last year.
I don't think so. I mean, I can... Yeah.
Dear listener, go back and let us know.
Yeah. Let us know what we talked about last year, because that was a whole house ago.
That was a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
So I'm pleasantly surprised at this. IPAs are not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing. I don't have anything against New Holland or what they're doing. I just any kind of IPA, really. It's not my thing.
See, this is when I would say, though, that you are a Midwest boy. Like, there are 4 places that you go on vacation.
Yes.
And they are the traditional Midwest vacation places. Usually.
At least for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
There's a Siesta Key. There's Myrtle Beach. Those are the 2.
Yeah. And then the other one.
Gatlinburg.
Yep. Gatlinburg.
We haven't been in Gatlinburg in like 10 years, though.
I know. It's been a long while. We need to go back.
More than 10 years. So that was 2011.
Lily would love Dolly World. Dollywood. Because it's got so much fun stuff to do. But then it's also like she's a coaster head, but she's not tall enough to be a coaster head.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they have middle of the road roller coasters.
they do. And because our daughter is the 3-year-old that looks at, well, 3 and 4-year-old. Gosh, I think she did it both years. That looks at Diamondback and says, I want to ride that next.
Yeah. She's also the 4-year-old who was super excited to go to Skyline. And she got a hot dog today.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened today. She got a hot dog plain with cheese on the slide.
Mm-hmm.
And as she was stuffing cheese in her mouth, she says, I don't like cheese.
That is classic Lily right now, though. I put cheese on her plate. I don't like cheese. She'll eat everything but the cheese. And I'm like, girl, you love cheese. It's literally, it used to be half your diet a week ago.
Or 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
She likes Cheez-Its. She likes...
she is a small child.
Yeah.
Elliot does the same thing sometimes where he's like, yuck. It's like, you haven't even licked it yet. So how do you even know what it tastes like? And 2, a week ago, you were eating this by the fistful.
He does that. Yep.
So he's been surviving on pretzels for the last 24 hours.
Well, all that to say, I wouldn't trust Lily's judgment when it comes to riding Diamondback.
Hey, she wanted to ride Runaway Reptar, whatever that's called now. And she would have done it if they wouldn't have actually measured her. But
She was just like an inch short or something.
it's like half an inch. Like, I could have, like,
Wear taller shoes.
there's some parenting hack where you, like, shove napkins in the bottom and, like, the heel of your kid's shoes to make them a little bit taller so they can, like, bridge that gap. 0 out of 10 do not recommend doing that. And that's why when the associate said, hey, like, I told Lily we might not be able to ride it, and she was totally fine with it. And we almost made it onto the ride. And then they're like, hey, yeah, actually, I do need to super measure her. And I'm like, okay, we'll go. And Lily was cool about it. She is very amazing.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about or say about this beer or the brewery?
It feels like a nice, sweet Midwesterner version of a loud East Coast and a dank West Coast IPA.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it more than I thought. And again, that's not a knock on New Holland.
It's a Joe doesn't usually like IPAs.
It's just this isn't the beer for me usually.
It's not your jam. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. Joe's concerned about small children and whether or not they're actually asleep.
Yes. So we will close this up and we will be back next time.
I am at Caroline Creates Crafts. He is at Craft Parenting Joe on the Instagram or the gram. We are on most social media platforms as Craft Parenting Podcast. If you are joining us on YouTube, slam that like button, smash subscribe, ring that notification bell. And if you are listening to us on a podcast platform, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like this episode, listen to like 10 more. And then tell us which one you like the most and why, because constructive feedback is fantastic. I'm going to hit the button early this time.
There you go.
And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It's a Princess Diaries reference.